What if everything you've been told about happiness is wrong? Society loves to hand us a script. Work hard, settle down, buy the house, raise the kids, and voila, happiness will magically appear. But here's the uncomfortable truth. For many, this formula doesn't work. Instead of joy, it often leads to burnout, unfulfilled dreams, and a nagging sense that something's missing. The problem isn't you. It's the expectations you've been sold. What if there's another way to live? One that prioritizes your mental tranquility over society's checklist. This video is about the kind of life advice no one dares to share. The unconventional truths that challenge the status quo. We'll explore ideas from philosophers who dared to reject societal norms, offering wisdom that's as relevant today as it was centuries ago, from finding happiness in simplicity to questioning the need for children or even rethinking ambition. These perspectives might just change the way you see your life. And no, it's not about abandoning everything. It's about discovering what truly brings you fulfillment. So, are you ready to break free from the mold and uncover the secrets to personal happiness? Stick around, because what you're about to hear might just be the wake-up call you didn't know you needed. Happiness at its core is a deeply personal experience. What brings joy to one person might leave another feeling indifferent. For some, it's the warmth of a quiet evening with a book, while others thrive in the chaos of a bustling social gathering. This subjectivity is what makes happiness so elusive. It cannot be boxed into a one-size-fits-all formula. Imagine two people climbing the same mountain. One feels exhilarated by the challenge, while the other only sees the aching muscles and exhaustion. The truth is, happiness is not about the mountain. It's about how you choose to see the climb. The beauty of happiness lies in its ability to adapt to individual contexts. A person living a minimalist lifestyle may find contentment in simplicity, while someone else might draw joy from ambition and achievement. Neither is wrong. They're just different. The key is to identify what resonates with your inner peace. Think of it like tuning a radio. Your happiness frequency is unique, and only you can find the right station. But here's the catch. Society often tries to dictate which station you should listen to, and that's where the struggle begins. This personal perspective on happiness challenges the conventional narrative. Society tends to sell us pre-packaged ideas of fulfillment, career success, financial stability, and picture-perfect relationships. But what if your happiness doesn't fit into these molds? What if your version of joy is unconventional, even misunderstood? This is where the conversation shifts to the societal expectations that shape our understanding of happiness, often steering us away from our true selves. For centuries, society has painted a clear picture of what happiness should look like: a stable career, a loving family, financial security, and a well-maintained social life. These milestones are often seen as the ultimate markers of success and fulfillment. It's like a checklist handed to us at birth. Graduate, get a job, marry, have kids, retire. But here's the thing. Does this path truly lead to happiness, or is it just a well-worn trail we follow out of habit? For many, these conventional markers feel more like obligations than sources of genuine joy. The idea of integrating into the social machine is powerful, and it's easy to see why. Conforming to societal expectations provides a sense of belonging and validation. After all, who doesn't want to feel accepted? But this pursuit of external approval often comes at a cost. People find themselves chasing promotions they don't care about, maintaining relationships that drain them, or buying things they don't need, all to fit into a mold that might not even suit them. It's a cycle that breeds burnout rather than fulfillment. Yet, stepping away from this conventional path can feel terrifying. The pressure to conform is immense, and the fear of judgment looms large. But what if there's another way? What if happiness doesn't have to look like the glossy images we see in advertisements? This is where the wisdom of philosophers comes into play. Those who dare to question these norms and explore unconventional paths to personal happiness. Their ideas might just hold the key to breaking free from the societal script. Throughout history, some of the greatest thinkers have boldly rejected society's blueprint for happiness. They questioned whether the pursuit of wealth, status, and conventional success truly led to fulfillment, or if it merely trapped people in an endless cycle of dissatisfaction. Philosophers like Schopenhauer, Zhuangzi, and Epicurus didn't just challenge these norms. They offered alternative paths that often seemed radical, even controversial. Their ideas remind us that happiness isn't always found in the places society tells us to look. Take Schopenhauer, for example, who believed that the relentless will to live drives people to chase desires that can never be fully satisfied. He argued that true happiness lies not in achieving more, but in wanting less. Similarly, Zhuangzi's Taoist philosophy teaches us to embrace life's limitations and avoid the exhaustion that comes from overreaching. These thinkers didn't just reject societal expectations, they redefined happiness as something internal, rooted in simplicity and mental tranquility. But here's the catch. These ideas often clash with the modern world's obsession with achievement and consumerism. Imagine telling someone today that ambition might be overrated or that happiness doesn't require a six-figure salary. It's a tough sell, isn't it? Yet, these philosophies challenge us to rethink what we value and why. They nudge us to explore unconventional paths to personal happiness, paths that might feel uncomfortable at first, but could lead to deeper contentment. And this is where their specific teachings come into focus, offering practical wisdom for those willing to listen. Arthur Schopenhauer believed that much of human suffering stems from an insatiable will to live, an irrational drive that keeps us chasing desires, status, and material gain. According to him, this endless pursuit traps us in a cycle of fleeting satisfaction and recurring dissatisfaction. Think about it. How often do we achieve a goal, only to immediately set our sights on the next one? Schopenhauer's advice was simple yet profound. Happiness isn't about fulfilling every desire. It's about quieting the mind and reducing the demands we place on life. He advocated for a minimalist approach to living, where fewer ambitions lead to greater peace. Instead of striving for more, Schopenhauer encouraged people to focus on simple pleasures, like reading, walking in nature, or enjoying meaningful conversations. For instance, rather than obsessing over the latest gadget or promotion, he'd suggest finding joy in a quiet evening with a book. This philosophy directly challenges the consumerist mindset that convinces us we need more to be happy, a mindset that often leads to anxiety and burnout. Schopenhauer also criticized the achievement society we live in, where success is measured by how much we produce or acquire. He argued that this constant striving only fuels dissatisfaction and robs us of mental tranquility. By embracing an ascetic lifestyle, one that prioritizes simplicity over ambition, we can break free from this cycle. But how does this idea hold up in a world that glorifies hustle culture? Perhaps the answer lies in exploring the balance between ambition and contentment, a balance that Schopenhauer's teachings invite us to consider. Zhuangzi, a central figure in Taoist philosophy, believed that much of human suffering comes from ignoring the natural limitations of life. While the mind can dream endlessly, the body and circumstances have their boundaries. He warned against chasing goals that stretch us beyond our capacity, as this often leads to exhaustion and frustration. Think of someone working 80-hour weeks to climb the corporate ladder, only to find themselves burned out and unfulfilled. Zhuangzi's wisdom reminds us that knowing when to stop is just as important as knowing when to start. At the heart of his teachings lies the concept of the middle path, a balanced way of living that avoids extremes. Instead of obsessing over perfection or fearing failure, Zhuangzi encouraged people to flow with life, much like a river adapts to the rocks in its path. For example, if you make a mistake at work, rather than spiraling into self-criticism, you could view it as a natural part of growth. This mindset not only preserves mental tranquility, but also helps you approach challenges with a sense of ease rather than resistance. Zhuangzi also rejected the idea of chasing fame or external validation, as these pursuits often come at the expense of inner peace. He believed that true contentment comes from living authentically and embracing simplicity. Imagine letting go of the pressure to impress others and instead focusing on what genuinely fulfills you. It's a liberating thought, isn't it? But how do we apply this in a world that constantly pushes us to do more, achieve more, and be more? That's where the next philosophical perspective offers another layer of insight. Thales, one of the first philosophers in history, made a bold choice that still sparks debate today. He decided not to marry or have children. His reasoning, he believed that avoiding these commitments could spare him from emotional pain and distractions, allowing him to focus on intellectual pursuits and personal tranquility. In a world that often equates parenthood with fulfillment, Thales' perspective challenges us to rethink whether societal expectations align with our personal happiness. After all, isn't it better to live authentically than to follow a path that doesn't resonate with you? Democritus, Another ancient thinker echoed similar sentiments, emphasizing the sacrifices required to raise children. He argued that, while parenting can bring joy, it often demands a level of selflessness that might compromise one's mental tranquility. His suggestion, instead of having biological children, consider adopting or mentoring, as this allows for a more intentional and less burdensome connection. Imagine choosing to guide a young person's life because you truly want to, not because society tells you it's the right thing to do. It's a perspective that prioritizes choice over obligation. Of course, these ideas are controversial, especially in cultures where parenthood is seen as a natural milestone. But they invite us to question whether conventional paths to fulfillment are truly universal. For some, the joy of raising a family outweighs the challenges, while for others, the freedom to pursue personal ambitions might bring greater contentment. This tension between societal norms and individual desires leads us to another intriguing perspective, one that redefines pleasure and challenges our assumptions about relationships and sexuality. Epicurus, often misunderstood as a champion of indulgence, actually promoted a form of hedonism rooted in simplicity. For him, true happiness wasn't about extravagant pleasures, but about finding joy in the small, easily attainable things, like a modest meal, meaningful friendships, or a peaceful moment of reflection. He believed that by focusing on these simple pleasures, one could achieve a state of contentment without the stress of chasing wealth or fame. Imagine savoring a quiet cup of tea instead of striving for a luxury vacation. That's the kind of fulfillment Epicurus valued. When it came to desires, Epicurus was a firm believer in distinguishing between necessary and unnecessary ones. He argued that many of the things we crave, like excessive wealth, power, or even fame, only lead to anxiety and dissatisfaction. His philosophy encourages us to ask, do I really need this to be happy? This perspective extends to relationships and sexuality. While he didn't condemn sex outright, he viewed it as a potentially disruptive force, capable of creating obsession, dependency, or even emotional turmoil. For Epicurus, avoiding these pitfalls was key to maintaining mental tranquility. His approach might seem counterintuitive in today's world, where instant gratification and indulgence are often celebrated. But Epicurus' teachings offer a refreshing alternative, a life of simplicity, free from the chaos of unnecessary desires. By focusing on what truly matters, be it a quiet evening with loved ones or the satisfaction of a creative pursuit, we can find a deeper, more sustainable form of happiness. And yet, this raises a larger question. How do we reconcile these ancient ideas with the pressures of modern society, where ambition and consumerism dominate? So, now that you've heard these unconventional perspectives, let me ask you, are you living a life that's truly yours, or one that's been shaped by societal expectations? The philosophers we've explored today didn't just challenge the norms. They showed us that happiness is deeply personal and doesn't have to fit into a pre-made box. Whether it's embracing simplicity, questioning ambition, or redefining relationships, the path to fulfillment starts with asking yourself what truly matters to you. But here's the thing, knowing isn't enough. What will you do with this knowledge? Will you take a step back and rethink the goals you're chasing? Will you let go of the pressures that keep you stuck in cycles of stress and dissatisfaction? The choice is yours, and it's one that could transform your life. Remember, happiness isn't about doing what everyone else is doing. It's about finding what brings you inner peace and contentment. If this video resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs to hear this. And before you go, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Together, we'll continue exploring the ideas that challenge the norm and help you create a life that's truly your own. So, what's your next step toward happiness? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts.